Welcome to LunarWave. Join our adventure club with a quick subscribe.
Welcome to Port Cache, where sea fog rolls through the streets like clockwork, and the quiet holds more secrets than most people care to ask. This is LunarWave, bedtime mystery stories for kids who love to wonder. In tonight's episode, Shelby and her friends head out for a camping trip on the edge of town. But as night falls, an old story surfaces, one that might be more than just a story. Let's begin. They set off just after lunch, backpacks filled with trail mix, tarps, and flashlights that may or may not have working batteries. Clara had driven them to the edge of Far Pine Trail, just before the road curved into the cliffs, and reminded them more than once to stick together. The fog hadn't rolled in yet, but it would. It always did. Shelby walked in the middle of the group, her boots crunching over dried pine needles. Trigger marched up front, using a long stick like a walking staff. Blake kept close behind Shelby, occasionally checking his pocket notebook, though he hadn't written anything yet. Alice trailed behind the group, quiet, chewing on a piece of licorice and staring at the treetops. Trigger, turning around to walk backward with a grin.
Bet you $5 I find a snake before sunset.
Blake startled.
Please don't.
Shelby, amused but firm.
Let's not make that the goal.
The trail opened into a small clearing, just wide enough for their tents. Ferns brushed their legs, and every so often a low branch would creak in the breeze. Trigger called it perfect. Shelby called it far enough. Alice didn't say much at all. They pitched tents, built a circle of stones for the fire, and roasted their first marshmallows before the sun even touched the tree line. Brody and Peter had decided not to come at the last minute. Something about Brody forgetting the tent poles and Peter not wanting to sleep with raccoons. Shelby wasn't surprised. The quiet, though, was nice. Shelby adding a stick to the growing fire.
This is kind of amazing. No phones, no traffic, just trees and quiet.
Trigger stretching out beside the fire.
Yep, and possible bears.
Blake, slightly nervous.
Do bears live out here?
Only the brave ones.
I heard something last night.
The group turned to her. Alice wasn't known for dramatic reveals. When she spoke, she usually meant it.
You mean, like at your house?
Alice nodding, her voice low.
My uncle's in town. He's staying with us. I was getting a snack after midnight, and I heard him talking to my dad in the kitchen. He didn't see me.
Blake leaning in.
What was he saying?
He was telling a story about something that used to happen in Port Cache a long time ago. Something about creatures.
Trigger interrupting.
Okay, hold on. You waited until now to tell us there were creatures involved?
Not monsters, not ghosts. Creatures that only showed up for kids. Brave ones.
The fire popped, sending sparks into the air like tiny orange fireflies. Even the trees seemed to hush.
He said they came only at night. The kids who were brave, who didn't run, didn't scream, got taken on rides. Fast, quiet rides through the woods. The kids would wake up in the morning, not remembering everything, but they'd swear it happened. He said you could hear them before you saw them.
Shelby, eyebrows drawn.
What kind of creatures?
He didn't say exactly, just hooves in the dark. Something you had to be calm to see.
Blake, voice small.
Like horses?
Alice glancing toward the trees.
Maybe, but he said they weren't just animals, they chose kids, brave kids.
Trigger had gone quiet. He stared into the fire, his usual grin gone.
My dad told me about something like that once. I thought it was made up. He said when he was a kid, there were stories of these shadow horses that could appear in the fog. No one believed it, not really, but everyone still listened.
They all sat for a while, letting the story settle around them like the night air. Then came the rustling. At first, it was just a soft shuffle beyond the circle of light. Then a snap, like a twig breaking. Blake, sitting bolt upright.
Did you hear that?
Trigger, already half standing.
I heard it.
Shelby clicking on her flashlight.
Stay close. It's probably just...
A gray blur darted out from the bushes, eyes glinting in the firelight. Alice exhaling in relief.
It's a possum.
Trigger lowering his stick.
Well, that ruined the moment.
Blake quietly.
Or maybe it was checking to see if we were brave.
They laughed, but not as hard as they normally would. Something about the moment lingered, that mix of curiosity, tension, and wonder, the kind that comes right before a discovery. Tonight, the kids of Port Cache heard a story that sounded just a little too real. Not ghosts, not monsters, something older, quieter, and still waiting in the woods. In the next episode, their search for the truth leads to the town's quietest place, the library. For now, snuggle up, imagine a fire crackling under tall pines, and let the mystery follow you into dreams. Good night, Port Cache.
Love this mystery? Like and subscribe to LunarWave for more adventures under the stars.